Louis, Cubs and Cardinals. Game one of a three-game weekend series. Cubs have dropped consecutive series for the first time this season. The Cardinals just completed a first-ever 6-0 road trip. But after an off day yesterday, JD, beautiful weather tonight. I think everybody's ready to go.
Yeah, time to reset. Thought the Cubs would get healthy offensively in Denver at Coors Field. That was not the case. So they returned to St. Louis, where they started the season. They won 2 out of 3 here. And they'll see a familiar foe on the mound in Mike Leake. Nobody in that Cubs clubhouse or dugout is panicking. Obviously, they want to play better than they are, but it's going to be a challenge. This Cardinal team is playing great baseball. They've won 16 of their last 21 games.
Yeah, the Cubs and Cardinals basically have swapped spots over the last 8 days. In the National League Central, Cubs have dropped 5 of their last 6, and as we mentioned, the Cardinals, after a 3-9 start, now 16-5 over their last 21 games, and no surprise, the biggest reason is their starting pitching. It's been really good.
Yeah, pitching has been outstanding during this stretch. Mike Leake, the guy who's going tonight, leads the league in ERA. Lance Lynn has been really good. Walker's been solid. And they've been swinging the bats, too. They've averaged about 7 runs per game on their recent road trip. So we look at some numbers on Mike Leake, who we obviously saw a lot when he was a member of the Reds. 2010 through 14, he was 8-2 with a 3.01. Since then, not quite as good. 1-3 with a 4.56, starting with the 2015 season. Last year, he was 0-3 against the Cubs with an ERA of 5.64, but that was primarily due to one really bad one. He made 4 starts against the Cubs, 3 decent and 1 ugly.
Right-hander Eddie Butler will make his Cubs debut tonight. To make room for him on the roster, right-hander Justin Grimm was optioned to AAA Iowa. Now the Cubs Southwest starting lineup. Schwarber in the leadoff spot. Chris Bryant red hot here as of late. Not too many hot hitters, though, in the Cubs lineup. Rizzo down to 218, Zobrist at 222. Jeimer Candelario gets his 3rd consecutive start. Contreras back at the plate, Baez at short, Butler in the 8th spot, and Almora hitting 9th.
And we check in with the Cardinals defensively. Tommy Pham will play left field tonight. Stephen Piscotty's on the disabled list. Dexter Fowler back in the lineup. He's been banged up a little bit. Randall Grichuk plays right. Infield configuration of Jerko, Diaz, Wong, Carpenter. Yadier Molina behind the plate, and Alexis starting pitcher for the Cardinals. As we mentioned, the veteran right-hander Mike Leake. Alexis experience amazing, and boy, he's been good. 6 starts, all quality. 4-1 with a league best 1.79 ERA. He's allowed just 1 home run. And you see that very low batting average against. He's been able to neutralize both right and left-handed hitters.
Big Jordan Baker will call balls and strikes. Bill Welke is at first, Bruce Dreckman at second. And the crew chief, Mike Everett, is over at 3rd. And the leadoff man is presented by Binny's Beverage Depot. If Kyle Schwarber gets a hit here, Binny's will donate $100 to the Greater Chicago Food Depository. And we're underway as Schwarber takes a strike.
Leake will give you a lot of different looks, likes to sink the fastball. He'll also cut it, throws a slider, change, and a curve. He's not a hard thrower. A little below league average in terms of his velocity, but command, movement, and unpredictability, the keys for Mike Leake.
On the ground to the shortstop Diaz. 1 away.
And that's what Leake will do when he's right. They get a lot of outs on the ground.
Check that. Maybe that was Jerko. Well, I think it was Diaz.
No, it was Diaz, because
okay.
Jerko, after the strike 1, Jerko drifted over to the right side.
We did not have John Jay in our starting lineup.
No, we did not. And we have not heard anything.
And in fact, on the scoreboard, they had Bryant in the lineup as well, and they're listing Jay as a pinch hitter. That can't be right. So the former Cardinal in the lineup, and the pitch is outside. 2 balls, no strikes.
What if something happened with KB during batting practice?
We're finding out now. He was scratched late, feeling under the weather. Two balls, 2 strikes. Just missed. Leake doesn't take much time between pitches.
No, fielders love playing behind him. Works quickly, throws strikes. He's a very good athlete. Fields his position well. He's one of the better hitting pitchers in the game.
Big crowd as always when these 2 teams match up. Ground ball, backhanded by Carpenter. Leake covering, 2 outs. So I guess just before the game, Bryant came down with some sort of stomach issue. So we hope he's all right. Addison Russell day to day with the shoulder. Jason Hayward on the DL. Cubs a little banged up right now. And the pitch to Anthony Rizzo is shot back right where it came from into center for a base hit.
It'll be good to see the big guy get rolling. A good start, wasting no time jumping on that pitch from Leake, a guy who he has had success against. Anthony, 375 in his career against Leake, and he went down, got that low ball, and rifled it right back through the middle of the diamond. Tried to make the glove save. Could not.
That'll give Zobrist a chance here in the first. We want to apologize up front. We will have some audio issues tonight. Doing our best to make it sound crystal clear. And a foul strike on Zobrist. Cubs were shut out on Wednesday in Colorado for the 2nd time this season. That's wide. It's 1-1. Two outs, top of the first. Beautiful night, 72 degrees here in St. Louis. We have not been blessed with great weather here as of late, but tonight a much different story as you see. Finally, the Cubs facing a guy they've seen before.
Yeah, a very bizarre run, 5 consecutive starts against pitchers they had never faced before. The Yankees in interleague play, obviously they don't see much of the Yankees, and the Rockies featured rookies in that series. Senzatella, Freeland, and Marquez, who flirted with a no-hitter on Wednesday.
Leake ready for a 2-2 and a 2-bouncer to Colton Wong, and that's it for the Cubs in the first. Cardinals coming up as Eddie Butler will make his Cub debut when we come back. Southwest starting lineup. They're looking for their 7th consecutive win. Dexter Fowler, game-winning hit the last 2 games, but off the bench as he had been out with a shoulder/lat injury. Pham, Carpenter, Jerko, Yadier Molina in the 5th spot. Aledmys Diaz, an all-star last year, bats 6th. Grichuk over and right because Stephen Piscotty's on the DL. Wong, the second baseman, and as JD mentioned, Mike Leake, who can swing the bat.
Cubs defensively, Kyle Schwarber left, Almora Jr. center, John Jay in right, Candelario, Baez, Zobrist, Rizzo third to first. Wilson Contreras is the hind catcher tonight in the Lexus starting pitcher, making his first ever start in a Cub uniform. Eddie Butler, Lexus experience amazing.
And ball 1 is low from Butler to Fowler. He came over from the Rockies in the offseason. Ooh, he got that pitch. That's a good one to get if you're Eddie Butler.
And yeah, then, you know, Jordan Baker's the tallest umpire in Major League Baseball, and the assumption is you're not going to get the low ball with the tall umpire, which we'll see if that holds true or not. Butler's game is similar to Leake's. He's got a little more giddy up on his fastball than Leake does, but a lot of sinkers, pitches to contact.
Hard hit grounder right to Anthony Rizzo. That'll go 3-1. February 1st, the Cubs got him from Colorado, and he was really good in spring training, and he carried that right into the regular season at AAA Iowa before a brief DL stint due to an ankle injury.
At 46th overall pick in the 2012 draft, supplemental pick after the first round. He has struggled to get on track as a big leaguer, but that's happened to a lot of pitchers in Denver. Those ex-Rockies, always worth taking a chance on. Quick move through their organization.
Pham went. Call made at first by Bill Welke. Pham struggled in spring training with a bunch of strikeouts. Did not make their club, but he is here due to their outfield injuries. Swing and a miss, 1 and 2.
That one going 96 miles an hour.
Pham making the most of it so far. Close, didn't
bring
get
him
it.
up, bring him up, Jordan. You know, Eddie's got to be a little amped up, a little extra adrenaline going. He was supposed to fly out of Des Moines on Wednesday. His flight got canceled. He left early yesterday, got into St. Louis midday.
Full count on Pham. Carpenter is on deck. Here it is, fouled away. Three o'clock start tomorrow, 1:15 on Sunday. This will get out of play.
Butler split time last year between the big leagues and AAA. For the Rockies, he was 2-5 with an ERA above 7. He made 9 starts and 8 relief appearances. Coming up through their system, regarded as one of their top prospects and one of the better pitching prospects in the game as a young minor leaguer.
Swing and a miss, strike 3. So Butler's first punch out as a Cub.
Talked about the sinker and the pitch to contact approach, but 96 elevated will get you some punch outs, and that'll play. Some deception there too as he throws that front arm up.
So here's Carpenter, the first baseman.
two guys who could be on the all-occupation team here with Butler and Carpenter.
Yeah.
Carpenter has more from a line drive hitter to a guy who pulls the ball, hits for power.
On base plus slugging currently a robust .959.
Yeah, trying to join that group of National League first basemen that are up over 1,000. I looked the other day, there was half a dozen of them.
1-1 is on the outside corner.
Oh yeah, Wilson Contreras, go to work out there, man. That's the second time Baker's called that pitch off the edge down a little bit. Exploit it. I will put Jordan Baker on that team too. He'll be the umpire on the all-occupation team.
Is there such an occupation as a Dreckman? Way outside. 97 that time.
I know.
From Butler. Another full count. Here's the pitch. Little tapper up along first foul. Jerko is on deck. Butler in Brett Anderson's spot in the rotation. He's on the DL. So for now, Mike Montgomery, who went into spring training battling for a starting spot, remains in the bullpen. Another 3-2 is outside for ball 4. Jerko hit .391 on their 6-0 road trip. Johnny Peralta is on the DL. He's got an upper respiratory infection.
Jerko also batted .391 during this 21-game stretch in which they've gone 16-5, slugging close to .700 over that 3-week stretch. He's been locked in.
Scoring a lot of runs during this streak. On the season, they're about middle of the pack in the National League in runs scored. The starters have been great. And they've taken advantage of what you might call a soft schedule, playing teams under 500, but good teams beat the teams they should. 2-0 on Jerko. So one thing I will never do, and if I do, just nudge me.
Okay.
Is penalize a team for beating teams they should beat. Because if you do that over the course of a season, you're going to be in the playoffs, right? You don't have to beat everybody.
Right, and baseball's such a a different animal anyway. If you took a really good basketball team and played against a bottom of the league basketball team and played a bunch of games, the really good team would win what, 80% of the time. In baseball, you'd win 55% of the time over the long haul. So much depends on the pitching matchups in any given series.
Back-to-back 2-out walks. That'll set it up for Yadier Molina. They got a 3-year, $60 million extension before the opening night game against the Cubs back on April 2nd, and Chris Bosio will head out to the mound.
Yeah, I think any pitching this inning almost like a late inning reliever, huffing and puffing, airing it out, and I think Boz just wants to, all right, let's settle in here now, relax, take a deep breath, mix in that breaking ball a little bit more. Molina likes to hit the ball the other way. He hits it on the ground a lot. When he hits it in the air, a lot of times it's towards right and right center. But every now and then, especially in a situation like this, he'll look to get the head out early, try to ambush you and jerk one to left.
Taking all the way, it's a strike. We'll see how sticky his chest protector is during this series. Had to get that in there. 0-2. What did we say? The ball got auctioned off for a couple $1,000.
Yeah, I think somebody should walk up to him when behind the plate and just kind of pat him on the chest protector. One of those days we say, well, we think we've seen everything in this game until that.
One, two is hit foul. Butler grinding to get through this first inning. This will be his 28th pitch. And a ground ball to Baez, down to a knee. Zobrist covered second, and the Cardinals strand two after an inning. 0-0. And it's Jeimer Candelario to lead it off. And he takes a strike. Cubs baseball on CSN Chicago is presented by State Farm. Bouncer foul.
This is Leake's second year with the Cardinals. Signed a free agent contract with them prior to last season.
Called strike three. Yeah, he got a 5-year, $80 million deal. Mutual option for a 6th season.
29 years of age, one of 21 players who came directly to the major leagues after being drafted. He was drafted out of Arizona State. He did ultimately go back and spend some time in the minor leagues.
Contreras just 7 for his last 46. Got a big game-tying 3-run homer in the ninth in the opening game of the season here. The Cardinals would win it in the bottom of the ninth. Tapper foul.
Easier said than done, but against a guy like Leake, you got to try to force him up in the zone a little bit. Like that.
Driven to right. It's deep, and it is gone. A home run. Cubs lead 1-0 in the second.
Man, that was one impressive swing of the bat. You usually don't see Contreras drive the ball like that the other way. That was a missile. Just the second home run Leake has allowed this year. The third one that Contreras has hit. Watch this baby go. Forward home run replay, trying to go down and away with a heater, and it is up. Thigh high, outer third. Boom. Great swing of the bat.
Ball one on Javi Baez. That's a good start. Cubs taking the early lead on the Contreras homer. Strike one. Addison Russell with his sore throwing shoulder. He is available to pinch hit tonight. Not sure when he'll be able to get back into the starting lineup. I guess throwing is more of an issue. And Baez went for strike three. Call made at first by Bill Welke. And he got it right. One and 0 on the pitcher Butler. In his career 2 out of 44 with no walks and 18 strikeouts.
So what you're saying is there's room for improvement there?
Maybe so. Going outside, it's 3-1. Now 3-2. If you see a little Bronson Arroyo and Mike Leake, I think that's by design. They pitch together in the Reds rotation. He doesn't have the big leg kick Arroyo has, but a lot of other things remind you of him.
The way he dips that glove at the start of his windup.
Got the long hair.
Not tall like Arroyo, but slender. Works quickly. That was ball 4, by the way. Sometimes as a pitcher, you might be in the batter's box, might be better off going into 50-50 mode. It's kind of a defeatist approach, especially with a guy that throws as many strikes as Leake does. But nothing else. He's made him work here in this AB. There you go.
So Butler draws a 2-out walk.
This ball does offer up some crazy incidences. That is just the 8th walk issued by Leake this year, and it's to the guy with the lifetime .045 batting average.
Albert Almora Jr. takes ball 1. Boy, if Bill Plummer just could have come along a little later and caught Mike Leake with the Reds.
No.
The 1-0. Low again.
What if he would have married like Farrah Fawcett's sister?
Well, his pitches do tend to sink. That's a strike, 2-1. Cubs lead on a Contreras home run. Bounce to third. Jerko will take the shorter throw. That's to second, and that's the inning. But Wilson Contreras, with his third home run of the season, has given the Cubs an early lead.
Include tickets, hotel accommodations, ballpark tours, Cubs swag, and a private meet and greet with a current player. This season's destinations in Chicago include series against the Rockies, Pirates, Nationals, Blue Jays, and Cardinals. For more information, visit Cubs.com/destinations.
Cubs lead 1-0. Opposite field home run, Wilson Contreras.
Well, now we have further changes. Tommy La Stella has come into the ball game to play second base, and Ben Zobrist has moved to right field. So yeah, I'm wondering if some kind of a bug is sweeping through the ball club. I don't know.
So the guy who replaced Bryant, John Jay, also out. Okay.
Stella plays second. Bat second. So the bench remains the sore-armed Russell, Bad Boiler Bryant, and Montero.
That's it. Might see Jake Arrieta have to pinch hit at some point. Ledmy's Diaz, 2 balls, no strikes. Although John Lackey's hitting .300, so you never know. Diaz, an all-star last year as a rookie. And knocked down by Candelario. Does he have time? He does not. Good effort, but Diaz beats it out.
That would have been one heck of a play. Made a nice recovery after knocking that ball down. A tough little in-between hop. He tries to backhand it. Just not able to get enough on that throw. Scored a base hit. Maybe had a little more time to get in front of that ball instead of playing it on the backhand side.
That's the Cardinals' first hit. And now it's Randall Grichuk, 0 for his last 16. Grichuk homered on opening night against the Cubs in the 8th, and then after Contreras tied it in the 9th, he had the game-ending RBI single.
Yeah, he seems to do his best against the Cubs. Batting average down to 228, 284 on base. So he could lose playing time as some of these Cardinal outfielders start to get healthy. Diaz can run a little bit. He's stolen 4 bases in 5 tries.
Down the right field line, and it's going to drop untouched. Foul. You mentioned Butler, a 46th overall pick, 2012, of the Rockies out of Radford University. He's from Chesapeake, Virginia. He was drafted out of high school by the Rangers in the 35th round in 2009, but decided not to sign. .6'2", 180. Contreras setting up way off the outside corner, and the pitch missed, and the throw to first late.
Contreras likes to establish early in the game his willingness to throw to the bases. Some catchers are of a mind to kind of keep their powder dry and just kind of wait. But he likes to go early.
Called strike 3. No argument from Grichuk. Second punch out for Butler.
Now that's what happens when you're scuffling like Grichuk is. You start guessing and you guess wrong. He's looking breaking ball here. And the guy who usually gets after that fastball gets locked up by that one.
Runner at first, 1 out. Colton Wong, left-handed hitting second baseman, and he takes a strike. Wong has 3 bunt hits already, 9 infield hits. Butler will fire to first. Popped up off of third. Candelario on foul ground. That's the second out. It'll bring up the pitcher, Leake. Butler
maybe starting to get the feel of that breaking ball. So when he was coming up as a minor leaguer, the book on him was plus fastball, outstanding changeup. And first little while with the Rockies, he threw his changeup a fair bit, but last year not so much.
Since Leake came up in 2010, he has 87 career hits. That's the most among all pitchers during this span. You can see he takes a pretty good hack. 0-1. Two strikes on Leake. The pitch. Fly ball short right. La Stella is out. He's got it. And the inning is over. Leadoff single, no runs after two. The Cubs lead the Cardinals 1-0.
Chicago Cubs at beautiful Wrigley Field. The Cubs return home this Tuesday night for the start of a long 10-game homestand with matchups against the Reds, Brewers, and Giants. For ticket availability, visit Cubs.com.
The obligatory shot of Cubs and Cardinal fans coexisting peacefully as Kyle Schwarber takes a cutter inside. Kyle grounded out to start the ball game. And he's in a favorable count this time, 2-0. Way up in the air on the infield. Jerko on the grass as Leake thought about helping him out.
Kyle had a pitch a hit there. Favorable count. A little cutter over the heart of the plate. It's a thing that Leake has been so good at. We talked about it last year with Kyle Hendricks, avoiding hard contact, and that's what Leake has done. Not a lot of strikeouts, but late movement, just creating weak contact. And on the hands out towards the end of the bat.
La Stella just came in to play defense after John Jay had to come out of the game, and a line shot fair into the right field corner. Grichuk will pick it up. La Stella has a double.
Happens a lot. The guy's a late add to the lineup. Somebody gets scratched, and player B proves to be the man of the match. We see it all the time. Maybe that'll be the case tonight for Tommy.
Rizzo with a solid single his first time. He came in 8 for 62 over his previous 15 games. And a lot of those hits were home runs. He did not play on Wednesday for the first time this season. And up until tonight, only Chris Bryant had started every game, but he was a very late scratch. I mean, just moments before we started tonight.
I think the day off in Colorado plus the scheduled day off yesterday will help Anthony reset things.
Chokes up with 2 strikes. And he pounds one on the ground to the right side. Estella at third, 2 outs.
Anthony so close to home plate. Molina set up off the inside corner, and it was like he was peeking around Anthony to see Leake.
Ball 1 to Zobrist.
DL news for you fantasy players. Juris Familia surgery, might be out for the rest of the season. Ryan Braun has gone to the disabled list, as has Trevor Story of the Rockies.
I guess Story injured himself during that doubleheader on Tuesday.
Shoulder for Story, a left calf strain for Ryan Braun.
Mike Trout returned to the Angel lineup last night. Had a tight hamstring as Zobrist takes ball 4. Trout had missed 5 games. Candelario now with 2 men on and 2 down. Guessing Jamer will be with the club at least until Jason Hayward comes off the DL, which could be as soon as the start of the upcoming homestand. He's eligible to come off on Tuesday. And a line shot the other way, but he hit it right at Pham to end the inning. Cubs strand a couple, bottom third. They lead the Cardinals 1-0.
lead 1-0 this Tuesday. That would be May 16th. The Cubs play the Reds. First pitch, 7:05. And up to the first 10,000 early arriving fans receive a set of Joe Madden replica glasses presented by Visit Myrtle Beach. Tickets are still available for this game. Visit Cubs.com.
The update from the Cubs clubhouse is John Jay is dealing with mid-back spasms. Here's Fowler for the second time, the former Cub, making his first start in 8 days. Came off the bench, had the game-winning hit Tuesday in Miami, and then on Wednesday, go-ahead pinch hit, 2-run triple in the 6th that proved to be the game winner. Cardinals, by far the best pinch hitting team in baseball.
Yeah, it's nuts. They're
435.
Last year that was the case too.
Hit a bunch of home runs.
Hazel Baker early on was doing all that damage.
That is a leadoff walk to Fowler. And here comes Tommy Pham.
Third walk issued by Eddie Butler here tonight.
Here's a pitch downstairs for ball 1. Contreras will head out to the mound. Phillies and the Nationals rained out tonight. Second consecutive night the Nationals have been washed out. They'll play a day-night doubleheader on Sunday.
Seems to be a lot of rain this year.
I would agree with you. We've seen a lot of it firsthand. Called strike. Forecast looks really good this weekend. Warm temperatures and no rain. That bounced out in front of the plate. Good read by Fowler. And a wild pitch charge to Butler.
And you see Fowler get the secondary, and the key is just to keep moving. Put yourself in position to take advantage of that ball in the dirt. Pham's been swinging it well. 3 multi-hit games on their recent road trip. He's got his average up to 417. Not a ton of plate appearances yet.
Three and one with Carpenter on deck. Now Butler steps off. Rizzo racing after it, foul territory, and he can't make the catch. Fowler was going to tag. In fact, he did, just in case that ball was caught by Rizzo. I don't think Dexter could really see if he had caught it or not, so why not tag and run? And then about halfway to third, he found out that the ball was not caught. Sets up a 3-2. And here it is. Swing and a miss. He got him with some high heat.
Yeah. Challenge Pham up there a couple of times and gotten it by him. So his third strikeout to go along with 3 walks. He's gotten Pham both times. Elevated cheese.
Carpenter walked in the first inning. Came in with a modest 6-game hitting streak. Homered in every game in that series in Atlanta at their new ballpark last weekend. So I'm going to say Matt Carpenter will give SunTrust Park a pretty good review.
Yeah,
Swing and a miss, 0-2.
I love hitting there. I'm guessing Freddie Freeman does too.
No batting gloves for Carpenter. Leans back and waits and takes ball 1. Cardinals have not yet come to Wrigley Field, and we will not see them in Chicago until June 2nd. Swing and a miss. Throw to second is late. Good tag by Baez. Back-to-back Ks for Butler.
Yeah, Matt Carpenter's tough to beat, man, with that fastball in the strike zone. So you don't see that very often. A swing and miss. He threw it right by him. Choreography with Baez out there making tags.
So Fowler got to second base with nobody out. Now there are 2. And Jerko lines to Candelario to end the inning. So Eddie Butler keeping St. Louis off the board through 3 in his Cubs debut. It's the Cubs 1, Cardinals nothing.
last year's historic run with the official 2016 championship season Fly the W book, loaded with all kinds of good things, including personal essays by Tom Ricketts and Theo Epstein, as well as never-before-seen photos. For more information, visit Cubs.com/flythewbook.
Foul strike on Wilson Contreras. We want to welcome all our viewers watching tonight on Wellman Cooperative Telephone Company in Wellman, Iowa. Matt Caesar led off the Padres game tonight against the White Sox in Chicago with a home run. That ball drilled deep to center. He's done it again. Contreras has homered twice.
Well, now he just needs to pull one to left field next time up. He's gone to right, now to center. Boy, two really impressive swings of the bat, and Leake has not made many mistakes, but he's elevated a couple of pitches, both to Contreras, and he's taken full advantage both times. There's your forward home run replay. Wilson had not hit a home run since April 22nd, but he's gone deep twice here tonight.
First time in his career he's hit more than one home run in a major league game. One and one on Baez.
Did not take long for that ball to get out of here.
114 miles an hour off the bat. Into center for a base hit.
That ball was up.
First homer by Contreras was 109, and the second one I mentioned 114 miles an hour. Jerko in at third, expecting Butler to bunt, and he is showing already.
Oh, that's the one you want to bunt. If indeed that is your mission. Carpenter can kind of hold his ground at first base a little bit longer because of Leake's athleticism. That would be my thinking anyway. If I were Mike Matheny, keep my first baseman at home a little bit longer. Tighten up that lead of Baez. Let Leake make a play, and a bad bunt, maybe you get to force that second. He measured a big lead.
Baez okay. He has to be okay. Cubs don't have anybody else available.
Yeah. See Uehara out there at shortstop before too long.
Mike Leake was leading the National League in homers per 9 innings going into this one tonight, leading the league in ERA. He was the only qualified pitcher with an ERA under 2. Runner goes and a bunt. So Baez safe as Butler is tagged out. That will be a sacrifice for Butler.
Well, Butler getting the job done at the plate tonight. Took the walk last time. Successful sacrifice here. Pushes Baez along.
That home run for Contreras, his third already this season in this ballpark. He's had 12 career at bats here at Busch Stadium and has homered 3 times. A couple of shots now to get in Baez from second, and a strike called on Almora. Good breaking ball, 0-2. Fourth game of this season series. Cubs won 2 of 3 to start the season. And Almora went on a pitch way out of the strike zone. That's out number 2.
Maybe a little overly anxious with a man in scoring position.
Schwarber with 2 outs. Takes low.
Been awfully tough in these situations. Coming into this game, overall, Leake batting just .209 against Leake. Well, Schwarber had a 2-0 count last time. Got a little cut fastball in the middle of the plate and popped it up.
Yeah, maybe swinging at pitches out of the zone, and when he's getting his pitch, just not squaring it up here lately. Ball 3. Ball 4.
Just didn't want to give in once he got into that dangerous count.
Here comes La Stella. Doubled in his first at bat. He's basically the third number 2 hitter the Cubs have had tonight. Chris Bryant scratched just before the game. John Jay only got 1 at bat before he was removed due to back spasms. So if I were Tommy, I'd be careful tonight. It has not been a very lucky spot in the lineup. Oh, and 2. If the Cubs lineup were this is Spinal Tap, the drummer would have hit second.
Why is that?
Because they went through about 8 drummers who saw untimely demises. As Fowler makes a catch, I think you just have to see the movie. It's Wilson Contreras 2 and the Cardinals 0. Insider all season long on CSNChicago.com. Presented by Nationwide's Jeff Vukovich. Serving the community for 38 years. Go to jeffvuk.com. Nationwide is on your side. Eddie Butler in his Cub debut, working with a 2-0 lead here in the fourth. Ball one to Molina. Shot foul to left.
Yeah, that's a swing I was talking about earlier. The cheats on a fastball, tries to do damage on the pull side. Molina signed a contract extension right at the start of the year, adding 3 years to his current deal at $20 million per.
He is 34 years old, so that's a lot of money to give an older catcher who's caught a lot of games.
Yeah, it's a bit of a risky proposition.
Also kind of feels like a bit of a legacy deal, right, for what he has already given this club, and who knows?
Well, I think I think because he's such a good catcher and calls the game and the way he handles pitchers, I think they feel like even if his offensive game really goes south, there's still a fair amount of value there. Because the Cardinals first got criticized, especially locally, when they didn't re-sign Albert Pujols, and then when Albert started to break down out in California, it was widely regarded as a very good decision on the part of the Cardinals not to sign Pujols.
3-2 has popped up. It will be Rizzo to get Molina. Now Diaz, who picked up an infield hit in his first at bat.
Yeah, up over 340 in the month of May for Diaz. Been swinging it pretty well here of late.
Breaking ball over for a strike.
He almost never walks. He doesn't strike out much either. He likes to hack.
He had a recent stretch as he bunts. It's a good one, and they're just going to let it sit there fair. No play at all. That'll be a second infield hit.
Looks like he's picking on Candelario. He hit that sharp ground ball to him that turned into a knock, and now he drops down a beautiful bunt with Jamer back. The hope was that this thing would kind of curl off the edge of the grass there, but once it started to drift right, nobody can make a play. Not an easy pitch to bunt either.
I was going to mention Diaz recently had a 3-game stretch during which he went 10 for 13. That'll help your batting average. Fouled on the screen by Grichuk. He struck out looking back in the second inning. Cardinals have just 2 hits, those infield singles by Diaz. Butler has walked 3. As Mike Matheny looks on.
Good pitch. Do you think if Butler throws like 6 or 7 shutout innings here tonight, the headline tomorrow will be the Butler did it?
Absolutely.
Kind of has to be, doesn't it?
Yeah. Going to go up this time. Yeah, not where Contreras wanted it. 1-2. Pitching matchups the rest of the weekend. Real good one tomorrow. It'll be a rematch of opening night. John Lester and Carlos Martinez. That is a fair ball. They get one, and that's all. Monday, three-time World Series champ John Lester opens up about his journey with the Cubs. Inside Look presented by Cadillac. Premieres Monday evening at 7 on CSN, or you can live stream at csnchicago.com/watch live. Jake Arrieta, Adam Wainwright will be the starting pitchers on Sunday. Minor collision at second. No harm, no foul.
I'm surprised Tommy even tried to turn that.
Vicious cut by Colton Wong, and he fouled it.
Cardinals have been a lot better against right-handed pitching than left, so you figure that would favor the Cubs tomorrow.
Waka skipped tomorrow as they want to give him a little bit of a rest. And they were able to do that because of the off day yesterday.
Yeah, and I seem to recall the Cubs having a couple big games against him in recent years. Maybe that's part of the thinking too. What a beautiful night for baseball. One of the best we've had this year.
Last year, Michael Wacha had a 10.03 ERA against the Cubs. Bounce back to the mound. Butler will underhand flip to Rizzo. And at the end of 4, it's the Cubs 2, Cardinals nothing.
Club is the perfect gift for parents of new Cubs to showcase what it means to be a Cub for life. Receive a photo from a custom birth announcement on the Wrigley Field marquee, Cubs birth certificate, baby stocking cap, and unique Cubs onesie. Visit Cubs.com/kids for more info.
A couple of Cubs minor league notes. Ian Happ, since coming off the disabled list, 7 for 15 with 7 RBIs in 4 games. Rizzo rolls foul. Double-A shortstop Carlos Penalver has hit an 8 in a row. And Smokies catcher slash first baseman Ian Rice hitting .500 in May. He was the Southern League Player of the Week last week. Smokies earned first place. Bounce to first. Easy play, Carpenter. Now Zobrist for the third time.
Public service announcement. Mother's Day is Sunday, so if you're running out of time,
yeah,
boys and girls, hook up mom with a nice gift, maybe a Fly the W book.
And I'm going to tell you right now, and I'm going to say this in the nicest way possible. We will mention, Happy Mother's Day wishes via Twitter on Sunday, but that is not your gift to your mom.
No, that doesn't count.
You cannot guilt us into, hey, I forgot to get her a Mother's Day gift. Could you guys mention her? We'll mention her, but that cannot be the only gift. You gotta do a little more than that.
Mother's Day is when Kramer and Newman took all the bottles to Michigan to try to redeem them. That's part of their big scam. The clubby, the visiting clubby I noticed walking through there the other day in Denver, had a sign up in the clubhouse, hey guys, I've got Mother's Day cards if anybody needs any. I mean, that's above and beyond. The clubhouse got to be providing Mother's Day cards.
1-2, Zobrist to first. That goes 3-1. Candelario has struck out and lined out. Jamer born in New York. The family moved to the Dominican Republic when he was just 5 years old.
Rare switch hitter whose swing looks really good from both sides of the plate. Most guys have really good from their strong side and functional from the other side, but he looks really good both right and left-handed. And the numbers bear it out as well. Down at AAA, hitting better than 300 from each side of the plate.
Tapped foul. So his parents are from the Dominican Republic. He is a U.S. citizen because he was born here. But because he grew up in the Dominican, he said he never really thought about getting drafted. Ready for 3-2. Shattered bat and a soft liner foul out of play.
Trying to bury a slider down and in. It got in there. See what Molina wants to do here. Now he's going to go two-seamer away.
Slicing drive that will make the seats as they jut out toward the foul line. Leake does not want Candelario to reach. The main reason is Contreras is on deck, and he's already homered twice. Wong will glove, little bobble, and it cost him. Will be an error on Colton Wong, and it will get Contreras to the plate with a man on and 2 down.
Boy, about as routine a play as you're going to get. And Wong with the mishandle. It looked like he was in good shape there, and then couldn't wrap his fingers around it yet again. Here we go. He's covered right, he's covered center. Am I getting greedy by asking one to left?
How about just over the fence somewhere? But yeah, that would be kind of neat.
I did that. I gave up to Barry Larkin, got me 1 to each field, 1 game. That was fun.
Before his 3rd home run, were you thinking to yourself that could happen?
No. I was too stupid to be I should have been. I should have walked him.
Well, as you have said, you've helped Barry Larkin get to the Hall of Fame. Here is the Giga Time moment powered by Xfinity. Contreras loves hitting in this ballpark.
And he's been scuffling lately, so this is a very good sign.
One ball, no strikes. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Tapped up along first, it's foul. And it's 1-2. Short lead by Candelario. Molina sets up toward the outside, and that's where the pitch was.
It's the kind of pitch you make when a guy's taking you deep twice in a ball game.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss off the plate.
To third. And the throw to second in time. Cubs done in the 5th, leading 2-zip halfway home.
premier options that Wrigley Field has to offer, like the Assurance Club, which offers members a private, luxurious atmosphere, top shelf food and drinks, as well as parking. Visit Cubs.com/premier for an option that fits your needs.
We'd like to send out our thoughts and prayers to the family of Jay Tarzan, who passed away unexpectedly this past weekend. And as Eddie Butler gets ready for the 5th inning, Leake, Fowler, and Pham. And that's a fastball low and in.
Most pitchers would be taking all the way here, but Leake might be hacking.
Yeah, I'm sure he gets a little more leeway than most, and he is swinging away, and he bounces to the shortstop, Baez. One away. Here comes Fowler. He has grounded out and walked. Came to the Cardinals on a 5-year, $82.5 million free agent contract. Couldn't wear number 24. That is Whitey Herzog's retired number, so wearing 25 instead in honor of Barry Bonds. He bet on himself last year, right? Instead of taking a multi-year deal with the Orioles, he came back to the Cubs on a 1-year deal. Won the World Series. Had a great year personally and turned that into this big contract with St. Louis.
Found a home here. The Cardinals looking for a leadoff guy. Looking for a guy that would bring a little energy to the ballpark.
He went. Well, even though he's wearing Cardinal red now, Dexter will always live on in the hearts of Cub fans as a world champion. Called strike 3.
Yeah, I was just getting ready to second guess Jordan Baker because that's been a strike all night. Changeup?
It was, yeah. I was just thinking, with the Cardinals not coming to Wrigley until early June, he's had to wait to get his ring. Not a bad thing to wait a couple months for, but Pham bounces to Candelario, and Butler with a very quick 1-2-3, his first of the night, shutting them out on just 2 hits so far. Talk podcast. Hall of Fame pitcher Fergie Jenkins drops by to talk about his experience watching the 2016 World Championship team, plus how big is this series here in St. Louis. All that and more in a brand new episode of the Cubs Talk podcast. Sixth inning, 2-0 Cubs on a couple of home runs by Wilson Contreras. Bottom three in the order. Baez in the air. Deep right center. Fowler back at the wall. He's got it. The way Dexter was drifting, at first I thought that ball was gone, but apparently he knew right where to be.
He kind of started jogging back, then found an extra gear.
Outside to Butler. Well, you asked me about Butler, if there's room for improvement in terms of his batting, and I didn't say it, but well, he walked and then laid down a sac bunt. But what I was going to say is, if he gets 3 or 4 plate appearances tonight, it may not matter. That's the goal for a starter.
Yeah, he's getting into bonus territory now.
Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Bullpen's in pretty good shape. You're always worried about that coming out of a series in Colorado, but bullpen did not get overworked out there. The starting pitching the last couple days of Lackey and Hendricks outstanding. Had the off day yesterday. There's an off day Monday. So Joe can be pretty aggressive with his bullpen usage in this series.
Left-hander Brett Cecil. One, 2 to Almora on the outside corner, and the Cubs are retired 1-2-3. Midway in the 6th, still 2-0.
Fast-paced, pick up and play MLB action, packed with all your favorite MLB teams, players, ballparks, and much more. Get RBI Baseball today for Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and mobile devices. Learn more at rbigame.com.
Thanks for being with us tonight. Eddie Butler in his Cubs debut has looked very good. First pitch swinging Matt Carpenter, lofting the other way. Schwarber one-hands it.
Yeah, dangerous hitter dispatch with one pitch. Carpenter rarely offers that first pitch. Butler 86 pitches. Sure, Joe would love to get him through 6 and then turn it over to the bullpen.
Hey, one other MLB note I wanted to mention. Do you know the name Austin Bibbins Dirks? D-I-R-K-X.
I do not.
He is a 32-year-old right-handed pitcher. Fly ball well hit to center. Almora, not quite to the track, makes the catch. 2 pitches, 2 outs. Now, one time, Bibbins Dirks pitched in the Cubs chain, 12 seasons in the minors. He has pitched in independent baseball, 20 teams over 6 organizations. Recently called up by the Texas Rangers. He has not yet made his major league debut, but one of those feel-good stories. And one of the great last names, Bibbins Dirks. My guess is he's the first big leaguer with a K followed by an X in his last name.
Yeah. Boy, we could spend a lot of time thinking about that one.
And then, of course, you go to this place. If you have an X at the end of your last name, do you really need a K in front of it?
Yeah, seems a little redundant.
That one golfed deep. If it's fair, it's gone. And it is foul. Foul. Barely. Call made by Mike Everett at third.
And there goes Molina again. You know, a couple of his swings in his last at bat, he was loading up early. Slams the bat in disgust. Because he wasn't doing the Pudge fist going down the line. You got to will that ball, Farrell, Yachty.
So a loud foul and an 0-2.
Good pitch. Gonna throw that fastball in. Got to throw it with conviction.
Astros lead again in New York, 5-0 in the 9th inning. Carl Edwards Jr. up in the bullpen. Got a final 4-0. Blue Jays beat the Mariners.
How are the Blue Jays doing? They got off to such a bad start. Have they turned it around at all? Well, still in last place over there, aren't they?
15-21. After their win tonight. Popped up. Foul ground. It's Rizzo. Eddie Butler. 6 shutout frames tonight. Trying to cool off the red-hot Cardinals. It's 2-0. and an official Cubs MasterCard debit card, only available at your local Wintrust Community Bank. Go to wintrust.com/Cubs to learn more. Member FDIC. Brett Cecil, first man out of the Cardinal bullpen. Quality start for Mike Leake, but he would be on the hook for the loss if his team cannot come back.
Yeah, Leake 7 for 7 in the quality start department this year. 6 innings, 2 runs allowed tonight. And he'd have a shutout going if Wilson Contreras was the one with the stomach bug. The veteran left-hander Cecil pitching for the 20th time, so he's been a busy man. 0-1 with a 5.27 ERA. Good curveball, good changeup for Cecil. Entire career with the Toronto Blue Jays prior to signing this deal with the Cardinals. Career that saw him debut in the big leagues in 2009. Did a fair bit of starting early on.
One-0 pitch to Schwarber's high. 2-0. Good time to be a good reliever. Got a 4-year, $30.5 million contract. I mean, for a non-closer, 10, 15 years ago, that would have been absolutely unheard of. Swing and a miss, 2-2.
Now, what were the numbers?
4 years, 30.5. That's 7.75 million per.
I think what clubs are starting to realize is it's really important to have a great bullpen. How that bullpen is constructed can vary from team to team, and there's only a handful of really elite closers out there.
Deep to right, back at the wall. It is caught by Grichuk.
Pretty well struck. Maybe a little, I don't know, backspin. Had to kind of hung up a little bit. But I think teams are finding value in some of these guys who can give them multiple innings and come in the 7th, 8th inning. You know, a lefty who can neutralize dangerous left-handed hitters and also get right-handed hitters out. Cecil seems to fit the bill with that good changeup.
Right, so then the question is, you know, if you look at his usage the last few seasons, going back to his days in Toronto, he hasn't been used as a multiple inning guy. Going into tonight, 13 2/3 innings over 19 appearances. Do you then almost create a specialist by not stretching out a guy who was a starter? La Stella way up in the air and deep. In that corner, gone, a home run. Tommy La Stella with a double and a homer tonight off the bench.
He was the third option. Bryant went down with a bad tummy. Jay with back spasms. La Stella inserted into the ball game. Double, and now this home run. It's the Ford home run replay. Just sneaks over the glove of Grichuk.
Mick Shrimpton has done it.
And Cecil with that. You've got to be kidding me.
One 1-0 on Rizzo. 3-0 on home runs.
The other part of it too is I think there's so many young guys coming into the game that throw 98 miles an hour. The teams are smart. They're gonna identify kids in their system that they can bring to the big leagues while they're still young and controllable and not making a lot of money pre-arbitration or even their first or second year of arbitration eligibility. Try to fast track them into some high leverage situations so that they're getting a lot of value for not a lot of money.
Yep.
And then that frees you up to go out and get a free agent pitcher who's a veteran that fits a need, you know. Whether it's a multi-inning guy or just a real tough left-hander.
Right, because as you know, the way this game works, you're going to make money if you're a veteran like Cecil, and there may be other guys in your bullpen who make essentially the minimum and who have as much responsibility. Yep. So he walks Rizzo, and that'll be it. Here comes Mike Matheny. Matt Bowman. When we return, 3-0 Cubs. Call to the pen, call grilling flavor up to the bigs. Right-hander Matt Bowman.
Bowman in his second year with the Cardinals, originally drafted by the Mets out of Princeton University. So he can outsmart you out there. Fastball, slider, changeup. Changeup is a big weapon for him. That's most of the Cardinal bullpen. Most of these guys feature heavy changeup usage. That's fairly rare, right? You think about most bullpens, it's fastball, slider. You got Rosenthal out there that throws 99 miles an hour, but they've got a number of these guys that are more finesse type.
Bottom of the zone for a strike on Zobrist, who's grounded out twice and walked once. Tommy LaStella with his first homer of the season, making it 3-0.
Good changeup. So sinker, bottom of the knees, and a chase changeup as Zobrist wouldn't bite. Probing is Bowman, looking for that ground ball.
Long look at Gary Jones, the third base coach, giving the signs. And now a 1-1. Wide for ball 2.
Well, could be an action pitch here. If Joe Madden is concerned about ground ball double play, he might decide to play a little hit and run.
Rizzo got a good jump, and Zobrist fouled out of play. Again, we want to apologize for our audio issues tonight. We had an equipment malfunction before the game, so doing our best to make it sound good. Bowman set, now to the plate. Called strike 3. That's out number 2.
Jordan Baker's been consistent tonight, calling that strike down around the knees, bottom of the knees, and so he has confounded the scouts. The umpire scouts are safe because he's really tall. He's not going to call the low ball. That has certainly not been the case.
Outside on Candelario.
Jamer 0 for 3 tonight. Hit the ball very hard his second time up, lined out to the left. First time he got caught looking, and last time reached on an error.
In the air, center field. It's Fowler. And we'll stretch here in St. Louis. The Cubs have hit 3 home runs tonight. Contreras in the 2nd, Contreras in the 4th. And now La Stella in the 7th. It's 3-0.
The Cubs' history as part of the Cubs' ongoing effort to restore and modernize Wrigley Field. Several sections of seats have been or will be removed. These seats are now available to purchase in sets of 2. Visit Cubs.com/seat sale for more information. There's your Mother's Day gift right there.
Yeah. Carl Edwards Jr. in for Eddie Butler. 6 shutout innings. 2 hits allowed, both on the infield. 3 walks, 5 strikeouts.
Yeah, impressive work by Eddie Butler, making his first career start for the Cubs. He was dealing down at AAA at a 1.17 ERA there. He got a 0 ERA here. He did not give up much hard contact at all tonight. Good lively heater, the key to his performance.
So it's up to the bullpen the rest of the way. The Cubs have a 2.86 bullpen earned run average. That's best in the National League. Diaz has both of the Cardinals' hits. And Edwards' first pitch is a strike.
Carl, with his repertoire, if he can establish fastball down early, then he can climb the ladder with that four-seam fastball, that little cutter. Drop in the hook. There's the cutter. So Diaz, as I mentioned last time he was up, he rarely walks and he doesn't strike out much either.
Oh, nasty swing and a miss, strike three.
Yeah. It's a ball he would normally find a way to put in play, but he just got abused there by Edwards. Yeah, it was nasty. Good morning, good afternoon, good night. Take that ugly hack and get back to the dugout, says Carl.
Spiked that curveball in front of the plate. If you get a chance, and I don't know if JD, if you subscribe to the Players Tribune, which is a really neat website. Pro athletes, some college athletes actually write their own stories. And CJ on February 21st had an article published about his best friend, Will Bedenbaugh, who died in a car crash when they were teenagers, but still with Carl in spirit. It's a really interesting story. That is deep. Almora at the wall, he leaps, he can't get it, it's a home run. Randall Grichuk just snapped in 0 for 18, and the Cardinals are on the board.
Grichuk continues his good work against the Cubs. That fastball up, and he was able to ride it on out of here just beyond the leaping Almora Jr.
I hope Albert's all right.
Joe started out. Retreated back into the dugout.
Remember, Almora stole away a home run from Matt Adams in the second game of the season here at Busch Stadium. Swing and a miss, 1-1 on Colton Wong. Adams, coincidentally, is on deck. In on his hands, and he bounces foul. Still 1-2. Astros beat the Yankees 5-1. Houston 25-11. What a start.
Yeah, not the best start ever. And most folks expected them to be really good this year. They have coming into play today a 7-game lead in the American League West. biggest lead of any division leader. The Nationals 5.5 games better than the Mets beginning play tonight.
Well, he's got Wong in swing mode, but he has been unable to put him away. This will be the 8th pitch of the at-bat. Called strike 3 as Contreras dropped the pitch, but it was in the box.
That's a good call. A lot of times you won't get that call if the catcher doesn't catch it. But Baker has been calling that low ball all night long, and that was a good pitch. Yeah. And Wilson just boxed it. You know, Wong's trying to make the case, well, he didn't catch it. How could it be a strike? But it clearly was a strike.
It will not be Adams, instead Greg Garcia, the pinch hit.
Garcia has proven to be good in this role. And as we mentioned earlier, the Cardinals have been outstanding in that regard, better than .400 in the pinch.
The paid crowd tonight, 47,601. That's their largest crowd of the year and the 3rd largest in the regular season in the history of this stadium. 1-1.
Backdoor curveball off the outside edge, but he got the call.
1-2.
Pitchers look forward to Jordan Baker being behind the plate.
Four runs tonight on 4 solo shots. Deep breath by Edwards. He's ready, and a 2-2 is on the way.
So,
it's high.
What do you think the record is for the most runs scored in a game, and they've all come on solo home runs?
I would guess like 7 or 8.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Somebody could probably look that up.
By somebody, do you mean me?
No, I thought maybe somebody maybe in the truck.
Garcia takes a walk. That'll bring the tying run to the plate.
Well, Carl's been mostly good this year. The other day in Colorado, he gave up a couple inherited runners. The opposing pitcher, the kid Marquez, who pitched a beautiful game, whacked a high fastball into left field to drive in 2, turning a 1-0 game into a 3-0 game. It was one of the more improbable outcomes of the year. The kid didn't look like he had much of a swing at all, and most guys don't really do a whole lot of damage on high fastballs from Carl, but he did. So a little bit of a scouting refresher on Fowler, and also conversation about, not just here's where his weaknesses are, but let's not give him anything he hit out of the ballpark. Let's pitch away from damage.
curve missed low and in.
Credible sources are telling us that the number is 8. 5-3. Rockies over Marlins last year on 8 solo home runs.
There you go. Missed again. 2 balls, no strikes.
You would think that game was played in Denver, but it was not. All right.
By the way, the Cardinals' last 2 wins, they had 4-run deficits in Miami. Tuesday and Wednesday.
I was listening to a little bit of Wednesday's game. The Marlins scored 4 in the first.
So they never feel like they're out of it.
Just a good heater, outer third and down here. Like I said, don't give him anything he can jerk out of the ballpark, but you got to find a way to get back in the count.
3-0.
Couple borderline pitches in this sequence.
There's a strike. It's 3-1. Ooh, he got that call. 3-2. He'll take it. Garcia will be on the move with 2 outs. Rizzo plays behind him. Ball 4. Will Joe let him face Tommy Pham? He's got Rondon, and he's going to go to Hector. Here comes the manager. So Joe trying to piece it together here and get the ball in the hands of Wade Davis in the 9th. We're only in the 7th, though, and it's 3-1. We'll be back.
Hector working for the 15th time. Second time on the road trip. Pitched a scoreless inning on Wednesday in Denver. And Previous outing to that one was the Friday game against the Yankees when he got touched up for that game-winning home run by Brett Gardner. For the year, 0-1 with a .338 earned run average. For hard-throwing Hector, 13 and a third. He has struck out 16, walked 6, allowed 9 hits. Certainly a high-leverage situation now, coming into this game with a couple of men on base with a 2-run lead. Guy who's been swinging a pretty hot bat, and Tommy Pham in the batter's box. Not tonight, though. Nothing for 3 with a couple of punch-outs.
Came in with 8 hits over his last 4 games. 3 quiet at-bats against Butler. Now facing Rondon. Slider misses low. Throw to pass, they're going to get him. Contreras picks off Dexter Fowler. Oh, is that huge? It would have been 2-0 on Tommy Pham with 2 men on.
Boy, have a night. 2 home runs now. This from Contreras. Dexter, you weren't paying attention last year. I think he's fired up.
Now at eclicklending.com. eClick is located in Chicagoland and rated A+ by the Better Business Bureau. eClick Lending. Boom! Your mortgage just happened. Boom! Wilson Contreras to get Dexter Fowler.
Yeah, boy, just pretty play. Rizzo sneaks in the back door.
And a great two-way game for Wilson tonight. And he'll lead off here in the 8th. Takes a strike from Broxton. Jonathan Broxton is their 4th pitcher, following Leake, Cecil, and Bowman.
Broxton, you see, has been hit around a little bit. 15 hits, 8 walks in 10 innings. That's a lot of traffic.
Shot foul to the net. Hefty home run time, and if he hits one here, he'll have as many homers as we have in the tagline for Hefty. That would be 3. He's hit 2.
Hefty. That was my best Jonathan Winters impersonation.
That's pretty good. Well, you're getting more current in your pop culture references, so that's good.
How about that Art Link letter?
Steve Allen. Contreras strikes out. Baez the batter. If you just joined us, Addison Russell out of the lineup for the second consecutive game. He's got a sore shoulder. Chris Bryant has a stomach illness. He was scratched just before the game started. And then John Jay, who got into the lineup in Bryant's spot, had to leave in the second inning due to back spasms. So this would be a big one to get, especially in Eddie Butler's Cubs debut. He went 6 shutout innings tonight.
Yeah, and it comes on the heels of the efforts by Lackey and Hendricks in Denver. Both really good starts. And John Lester's going tomorrow. He's been the Cubs' most dependable starter so far this year. So the rotation that was so good last year, that has struggled to a great degree this year, starting to show signs of turning things around. A little quick pitch.
Jerko will make the grab in front of second. Here is Addison Russell, so he is able to pinch hit. Would not expect to see him on defense, however. Fouled away for a strike.
Well, that's where to come off that bench. Hacken, he's had a couple pitches in the zone. He hasn't been able to time them up, but good aggressive swings at the Broxton fastball. Addy, just his second pinch hit at bat. He's 1 out of 1 in the pinch so far this year. That's something obviously he does very often.
Brewers with a 7-2 lead over the Mets. And they've hit a bunch of home runs tonight. Eric Solgaard, who replaced Ryan Braun on their active roster. Braun going on the DL. He has homered tonight. Matt Harvey gave up 5 runs in 5 innings. 3 home runs in his return after that 3-day suspension.
Thames get him? Nope.
No.
Jet Bandy did. Nope. Jet Bandy got Montero. Hernan Perez got him.
Garcia.
And Solgaard.
Slider in the dirt, and it's 1-2. Minnesota shut out Cleveland 1-0. Irvin Santana 7 scoreless. He's 6-1 with a 150.
Yeah, it's a deal. He's been on fire.
Miguel Sano homered in the first inning. That was the only run tonight.
First place, Minnesota Twins. No. Good work, boy. Came off the bench hacking at those fastballs. And Broxton got the jump on him, trying to get him to chase a couple sliders, and Addy able to disregard.
3-2 on Russell. The pitch. Ball 4.
Boy, good work. That's a great plate appearance off the bench.
0-2 to 4-2.
Yeah.
Now Almora.
He took that last slider like he knew it was coming too. Not overly anxious. Didn't talk himself into thinking he was going to get a heater there, as many guys do.
And Derek Lilliquist, the pitching coach, will head out to the mound. Alex Cobb beat Rick Porcello at Fenway. Rays 5, Red Sox 4 final. Left-hander Kevin Segrist up in the Cardinal pen. It looks like Koji Uehara will get the bottom of the 8th. So Hector Rondon came in to face Tommy Pham. He's credited with a third of an inning. And Uehara will face Pham to start the 8th because the out was a pickoff. It's always a little funky. And yes, a pitcher can get a win without retiring a batter. It has happened before.
Yeah, I seem to remember Larry Anderson one time in the Dome throwing a wild pitch, racing home to cover home, applying the tag on the guy trying to score from third inning over, and then we scored and he ended up getting the W.
In the air the other way. It's caught by Grichuk. Bottom of the 8th. Cubs 3, Cardinals 1. here in the 8th inning with a 2-run lead.
Koji has been out of action for a while, did not pitch in Denver, so his last appearance was in that marathon game against the Yankees last Sunday. For the year, 1-2 with a 2.84 ERA. Cardinal hitters are going to see upper 80s fastballs and split-fingered pitches. And you'll see a number of those fastballs up in the zone. Riding, backspin, sneaky fastball that gets a lot of swings and misses and pop-ups and foul backs.
1-1 on Tommy Pham. We saw 2 pitches from Rondon before Fowler was picked off to end the 7th. Pham, not a young guy, he's 29. He's still trying to establish himself at the major league level. Career high 78 games last year.
Koji can't get that high strike called. Contreras doing a little lobbying.
3-1. Fouled on the screen, or as JD called it, I like it, a foul back. That's a new term we should use. Not just a foul ball, but a foul back.
That would be on your box score. You got 11 swings and misses, 12 foul backs.
He struck him out.
There's a caught looking.
Jordan Baker may have to ice that right shoulder after the game. A lot of called thirds tonight.
Yeah, and I think Pham was maybe convinced himself he was going to get the splitter there. It's a 3 strikeout night for Pham. That was a good pitch too. Nothing really to beef about here. If anything in that sequence, Uehara might have been able to make a case for getting squeezed on some of those higher pitches.
Boy, that called third mechanic has strained rotator cuff written all over it. There's Carpenter, 0 for 2 with a walk. Guys practice that in front of the mirror, right?
Oh, absolutely. You got it. Bill Clem, one of the old-time umpires, was the first to use hand signals. Way back in the day, they would just audibly say ball or strike. Bill Clem or Al Barlick, one of those old-timey umpires.
Two strikes on Carpenter. Koji, a youthful 42.
Koji's pitched 15 times, or he had pitched 15 times coming into this outing. He'd given up runs in 2 of the previous 15, and they both came when he was working on back-to-back days.
Driven to right, playable, and it's Zobrist for out number 2.
Does that mean you shouldn't use him on back-to-back days? No, I wouldn't make that claim, but it's something worth paying attention to if it becomes a trend. Try to stay away from that.
Mentioned this when we were here to start the season. Kind of a weird line on Jerko last year. 30 homers, he knocked in 59, meaning he drove in himself more than he did his teammates. Curtis Granderson did the exact same thing. chopped foul to third.
Turco's been an interesting case. When he first came to the big leagues with the Padres, he had early success. Kind of went in the tank a little bit. Been able to rejuvenate his career here.
Yeah, so far his rate stats much better as a Cardinal than they were as a Padre. He has always been able to hit the ball out of the ballpark. 85 career home runs. This is his 5th major league season. Bat just went flying. I'm not sure if he broke it or not. I think he's telling the bat boy, actually, I'd prefer the one I just threw. There's a guy thinking of the planet. He could have very easily gotten a new bat, but it's still a good bat. So why waste it, right? Good piece of wood.
Well, yeah, plus, like I said, we've been hitting 390 here the last couple of weeks, so. I'm not going to mess with it.
Contreras ready for the split. And Jerko laid off. It's 2-2. He struck him out. A 1-2-3 8th inning for Koji Uehara. It's still 3-1 Cubs as we head to the ninth. By Benny's Beverage Depot, Eddie Butler in his Chicago Cubs debut, 3 outs away from a win, and was terrific all night.
Yeah, just a couple of hits, an infield single and a bunt single, working with his battery mate Wilson Contreras, who hit the 2 home runs, combined to take control of this ball game. And now the veteran left-hander Kevin Segras on for the Cardinals. No wins, no losses, a save, and a 4.73 ERA.
A reminder, Benny's Beverage Depot is the official champagne provider of the Chicago Cubs.
Segras with a relatively high ERA, 4.73. He's allowed 7 earned runs in 13 1/3 innings. 4 of those came in 1 outing. He's been on a pretty good roll here of late.
Well, the Butler did it. Top of the order, Schwarber, La Stella, Rizzo. Breaking ball low. That's a strike.
The interpreter there delivering the message from Uehara to Contreras.
That caught the outside edge. Tall lefty coming back on a 1-2. Ground ball hard hit up the middle. Diaz with a nice play and well positioned to make that play.
A tough break for Schwarber, who's been scuffling, and he did what you're supposed to do. He hit the ball hard right back through the middle of the diamond, but there stood Diaz to break his heart.
You theorized La Stella might be the man of the match. We basically gave it to Butler, but La Stella would be an honorable mention along with Wilson Contreras. As Tommy came into the game in the second inning, he has doubled, flied to center, and homered for the first time this year.
Yeah, there's probably no real evidence to back it up, but anecdotally it just seems like the guy who wasn't expected to be in the lineup gets thrown in there late. Usually does something big to contribute.
Rollover grounder to Colton Wong. Double clutch, but he had time. He committed an error earlier. But this time gets La Stella. And that'll leave it up to Anthony Rizzo, who has reached twice tonight in 4 tries. There's Wade Davis.
We've seen a whole lot of Wade lately. Got Molina, Diaz, Grichuk due up for the Cardinals in the bottom of the 9th.
If the Cubs hold on, they jump back over 500 at 18-17. They would end the Cardinals' 6-game winning streak. On the corner, 2-1.
If the Cardinals lose, they will fall to 9-9 here in their home ballpark, and that was a big part of their story last year. They were below 500 here at home, something that hadn't happened in a good while. 48-33 on the road, but 5 under here at Busch.
Don't know if you can explain it.
No, I can't. I can just point it out. Kind of like that commercial. I'm not a security guard, I'm a security monitor.
This is a robbery. Yeah. Swing and a miss. Rizzo disgustingly throws his bat in his helmet. Wade Davis will try to save it when we come back.
3-1. And there's Wade Davis on to try to finish things up. And boy, has he been good. Check out these numbers, folks. 7 saves and 7 tries, an ERA of 0. 14 in the third innings. He's allowed just 4 hits, 4 walks while striking at 18. Opposing hitters hitting .085 against him. His whip, walks plus hits per innings pitched, 0.56.
That's really, really good.
Right-handed batters are 1 out of 16 against him. Lefties 3 out of 31.
Yadier Molina to lead it off, and he takes a pitch up and in for ball 1. Molina has not hit a ball out of the infield. 0 for 3. Breaking ball. Strike.
Molina, how about the body language? It's like Jordan Baker. It's like a knife in his ribs.
Diaz and Grichuk to follow. They have all of the Cardinals' hits. 3 total. Shot out in the center, which will bring the tying run to the plate. Molina's aboard with nobody out.
He has a strikeout victim last time. Carl Edwards carved him up, finished him off with a real good curveball, inducing a very ugly swing.
Ground ball to third. Candelario to La Stella. Out at first. Double play. 5-4-3.
Yes, sir. About as slick as it can get. Mike Matheny is conferring with his video review guys to see whether he wants to challenge. There you see the turn by La Stella. And Big Riz on the bag, made the catch.
I think the other question is,
Tommy at second?
Yeah, did Tommy touch the bag at second?
Yeah,
and there will be no challenge. Yep.
Yeah, he's good.
Oh, is that huge? So now the tying run is back on deck. And here's Grichuk. Breaking ball in the dirt. Grichuk homered in the 7th. That snapped an 0 for 18. The Cubs win this game. Joe Madden would get career win number 999. Two and 1. The pitch. Now 2-2.
Third biggest crowd, regular season crowd in the history of this ballpark. And all of the ones in blue are on their feet.
You can see for Wade Davis, there's always a little extra in the tank. That pitch registered at 96. And ball 4. That'll bring up Colton Wong.
Now, not as sharp tonight as he normally is, and understandable given that he hasn't been out there in a while. Davis, like Uehara, had not pitched since Sunday.
Grichuk will take second. Since Contreras threw down there, they might give him a steal. A lot of times there, because the run doesn't matter, they will not credit the runner with a stolen base.
I was surprised when I saw him throw through.
Can't call defensive indifference if they throw, right? One and 0 on Wong.
Yeah, and I would imagine that's something that they've talked about, Baez and Contreras, that, you know, in this situation where we're not holding him at first and it looks like we're going to concede, sometimes the base runner will kind of break it down early.
Strike called. It's 1-2.
Normally in that situation, if you're not holding the base runner, you're also not going to cover the bag. Getting ready to shake some hands.
Lester and Martinez in a matchup of opening day starters tomorrow afternoon. Arrieta and Wainwright on Sunday. Two and 2. Two pitch from Davis is high. If Wong gets on, Matt Adams is on deck. Well, he's on deck no matter what happens, but
he'd get a turn.
He would, and he has 9 hits in his last 16 plate appearances. Big 3-2. Here it is.
Well, Wong putting up a heck of a fight here.
Sounded like let's go Cards and let's go Cubs, kind of all mashed together.
Yeah, that's exactly right. They're trying to shout each other down. A great environment here tonight.
Another 3-2 pitch. Wong swings and misses. Throw to first. Oh, gets away from Rizzo. Wong on his way to second. And it's a one-run ball game. Can you believe that?
Wow. One-run ball game, the tying run in scoring position. Ball in the dirt. Contreras slides out to give himself an angle. And just steams the throw, and Anthony a little late getting it. I mean, it's going to be an error on Anthony, I would assume. Wilson sometimes, not sometimes, all the time, throws that ball down to first base as hard as he possibly can. Now he's going to be charged with the error here.
Well, the run scoring is kind of irrelevant. The big issue is that Wong was able to get into scoring position. So a single to the outfield is going to tie this game. That is the first run allowed by Wade Davis as a Cub. And a run that should not have scored. Here is Matt Adams.
Well, yeah, and this is where Wade Davis can obviously really be the savior tonight. Bail everybody out and get Adams.
Called strike.
Good start.
So they did charge the error to Contreras.
Career .336 pinch hitter is Adams. He's 6 out of 16 this year. Just another one-run game between these two clubs. Time and time again.
Swing and a miss. Cubs win. Cubs win as they hang on 3-2. Eddie Butler gets a win in his Cub debut, and they snap the Cardinals' 6-game winning streak.
Yeah, got a little dicey there at the end, didn't it? They needed to finish Adams off there to finish off this ball game, or that would have been one heck of a gut punch. What a job by Eddie Butler in his Cub debut. Wilson Contreras with a big pickoff and a couple of home runs. Tommy La Stella off the bench with a big night. And there we go. Everybody can exhale and